how's it going? Linda here, Zwifting with Granny. ACB assistant coach Brian, who is somewhere, and a new addition to the coaching family. Meet Elijah. Elijah is assistant to the assistant coach Elijah. So, Brian is right here. So he is actually an ace instead of ACB. Yes, you are. He is adorable. Brian was just acting very bored all the time. And I knew he missed Morgan. And I knew he didn't like being alone. And so, I know, I see you. And I don't know. One day I stood in my kitchen and I said, God, if you want me to get a dog for Brian, it's got to be a senior dog, and it has to get along with cats, and you have to put it in my face right here, so there's no mistaking it. Well, 2 days later, I go to get my hair cut, and my hairdresser, Kim, who saves senior dogs, said, you have to see the cutest little dog. His name is Cletus, and he's on a pet finder, and he's 14 years old, and he has one tooth. Well, here he is, except he's not 14. He's closer to 12, but he does have one tooth. He has a lot of medical issues, which is fine. He had really bad teeth, so his teeth were so decayed they ate through the roof of his mouth. So he has trouble eating, and his food comes out his nose. But he is adorable, and he gets away with everything. They told me he was totally housebroken. Nope. He was crate trained, but he is not housebroken at all. I don't know how he could be this age and somebody not housebreak him. So we have decided upon the happy medium of diapers. So he's very good with his diapers. He lets me change him. He tells me when he needs to get them changed, and he's fine. He's very attached to me, I guess because I rescued him. He was in the shelter for 2 months. He was wandering around the streets of Newark, New Jersey for a while, and then they shipped him up here or down here, where I am. And here he is. He is a piece of work. He loves me. He loves the bike. He loves to be around me when I'm on the bike, which is unusual for any of the coaches I've had so far. So anyway, here he is. Say hello. Hi. I have that news, which is good news. And I also have other good news. Oh, here he comes now. If I'm riding, he's in here. Hi, bud. Yeah, good news is my knees work. A very special thank you to Lori Paulson, who is a sub and a viewer and now a good friend. She got me through a lot of the physical therapy stuff because the physical therapy place that I went to, I mean, they were very nice and everything, but when you go in there, they treat you like you're like 95 years old. So I opted out of physical therapy, and I figured I would do my own with stretches and riding the bike. And I knew Lori was a physical therapist, and I just bounced stuff off her, and she said, okay, well, if that feels good, do it. And what I started doing was longer rides, but at a very slow pace, just to get the base miles in, and that seemed to really do the trick. So the knees are fantastic. So that's all the good news. Now we got bad news. The bad news is I have cancer again. Yeah, I have cancer again. It's totally unexpected. My surgeon is even baffled. It's a women's cancer, and let's just say there were indications that something was off. And I went in to see him and was also told to get an MRI and a PET scan. Well, and they did a biopsy. The biopsy came back malignant. The PET scan also showed that not only was it in one spot, but it was also, I had liver cancer, and I also have lung cancer. I don't know how that works, the week before they told me all this, I was riding and breaking PRs on Duce and other on the volcano thing. I mean, how could I have lung cancer? There's 4 to 6 very small spots in the lungs. He has no idea how that got there. The liver is baffled. I said, could it be from all the drinking I did years ago? He said, have you drank anything since 2023? I said, I haven't drank anything in over 13 years. He said, no, it's not alcohol related, and the lungs are not a normal indication of somebody who had smoked earlier in their life. This is a very strange, aggressive cancer. All I can tell you is that was on February 4th. And yesterday, which was February 11th, was my first chemo. And he's one of the top surgeons in New Jersey, and he made personal phone calls to people that he trusted, and they just got me in there. It never happens in a week. I told one of the nurses I was diagnosed on the 4th, and here I am today on the 11th. She said, on January 4th? I said, no, February 4th. Everyone in the hospital told that, their jaws dropped. All I know is God is making sure that I get treated, and I could see it on the surgeon's face. He was like, we gotta take care of this right away. It's too aggressive. I don't understand why it's so aggressive. So they have me on chemo and immunotherapy. The immunotherapy is to boost the white blood cells so that I'm stronger. And it's a 6-week cycle. It's once every 3 weeks. So I go in 8:30 on a Tuesday, and then I wait 2 more weeks, and then I go in on a Tuesday. So that's that. I don't have any side effects yet from it, but I know there will be hair loss. So that's why I went for the pre-chemo haircut. I don't think I've ever had it this short. So how am I handling all this? I have the most incredible support group. It's not a support group, it's a fortress. My place of work, EES Cosmetic Solutions in Forked River, New Jersey, my employers, Ed and Ellen Shack, and my manager, Jessica Melillo, you would not believe these people. Jessica was the one who first found out with me that the tumor was malignant, and I had texted Ellen previously over the weekend to let her know that something's up. I don't have the results yet, but I just want to tell you as the owner of the company that something's up, and just giving you a heads up. And we were all hoping it was just an infection or something, and somehow I knew it wasn't. And then I was going on February 4th to find out the results. Now with my knees and stuff, my friend Dana moved to Florida. It was a better situation for her kids, for schooling. So I didn't have her here, and I didn't know who to ask to go with me to the appointment, because I really felt like I needed a second set of ears, because I was in shock kind of as it was. I had seen the results of the PET scan in the portal, and it had said metastasized and aggressive and all that kind of stuff. So I knew it wasn't good, and it said lungs. So I was expecting the worst. And Ellen had asked me with my knees, I'll take you if you need somebody, I'll take you. And I felt like she really wanted to help. And I had already lined somebody else up, because, I've known Ellen for over 25 years. When I was working in a pool store, I sold her and her husband a pool. And I made sure it was the first pool I ever sold. I treated that pool like it was my pool being built in my yard. I called them before it was coming over. I wanted to make sure this step was done before the next step was done. And the pool turned out beautifully. And her husband, Ed, said, we are going to open our own business in a few years. And when we do, we are going to ask you to work for us, because your customer service was great. I was like, oh, that's good to know. I didn't put any bank on it. But then they showed up in my church, and it was like God was really leading the way there. So Ellen and I got to be friends, and then they hired me. So from this little little three-person operation to where we are today, to watch this in 18 years is incredible. So anyway, knowing that, and Ellen is my boss. She's my friend, but she's my boss. And I've kind of separated that over the years out of respect because I don't like overstepping my bounds. I'm an employee, but she had always asked me. So I said, Ellen, what are you doing February 4th? I'm afraid. I'm not afraid, but I would prefer if somebody goes with me. And immediately she texted right back, I will be there. And boy, has she been there. She went with me to the appointment, then we got in the car, and the surgeon had called his oncologist and said, you call him and make an appointment. And I called and had to leave a message. And we were about, I guess, a half an hour, 45 minutes away from where the chemo was going to take place. And Ellen said, we'll just go there in person. We just walked into the hospital and said, she needs the appointment right away. And the fact that we were there pushed the paperwork through quicker. And I got a phone call, I think it was later that day or early the next morning, to come in like the next day. And it just kept going like quick. And what we're doing is, as soon as we get any information, Dana is the first one to know. We text Dana immediately. And it's funny because Ellen owns a house now in the same town in Florida where Dana lives. So it's kind of interesting how that works. So anyway, here I am. I'm on chemo. And it went well yesterday. And my friend Lori Paulson, once again, she sent me all these cancer things, skincare things and beautiful little things. And my coworkers. Well, let me stop here for a second. Each and every one of them were like, if you need us for anything, we're here. Jessica, the manager, said, if you need us, I will make a chart and we will have a schedule of people who could go over your house and stay with you so that you have somebody there if you're really sick. Because I'm two miles away from the office. What company does that? What company has a CEO? What corporation has a CEO that goes with you to doctor appointments? It doesn't happen like that. And every single one of my coworkers has approached me separately, offering their support and saying, anything, you need anything, we're here. Elijah is being taken care of when needed by my neighbor Donna. Everything is just being perfectly orchestrated. There is no way that this is not being guided by something beyond this earthly plane. That's all I'm saying. It's definitely divinely inspired. God has his footprint in the whole thing. Have whatever beliefs you want to believe, but there's too many coincidences in this whole thing for it to just be happenstance. So anyway, that's pretty much that. All my coworkers have come into me separately offering support, and we even have a new girl, and she came in and said, I'm really sorry, and if I can help out, and just it's amazing. It's amazing. My Jessica, the manager, is texting me almost every day just to see how I'm doing. They set me up to work completely from home except for the physical things that I have to do, which somebody else is doing, which they don't really do for people in my position at all, but they did it for me. So everybody has gone to the farthest lengths to try to make me live, I've been kind of, I guess, depressed about it. I don't feel sorry for myself, but I had said to myself, oh, now I got new knees. 2025 is going to be my year. And I kept saying that to everyone. And then I end up with not only cancer, but cancer in 3 areas of my body. So all I know is the cocktail they're giving me is supposed to be pretty potent. And apparently you're supposed to get sick maybe 2 or 3 or 4 days after the chemo, and then the next week you start feeling better, and then you're okay until the next one. The nurses were fantastic. It's just, I'm so grateful. You know, I mean, I have this cancer, and there's a reason. There's always a reason for everything. There's only 2 reasons that I can think of. I'm not God, so I'm just guessing. But one is that maybe I have to have this so I can help somebody else. Oh, and I have to remember about the bracelet. Remind me about the bracelet. And the second thing is maybe I need to learn how to ask for help, because I'm so darn independent that I always do things by myself, and I am learning to ask for help. I'm learning to ask, hey, I need a ride to the hospital. Hey, I need this. Hey, can you take care of Elijah and Brian? And people are just, yes, yes, yes. And it sounds ridiculous to some of you, but I have nothing but gratitude for this cancer, because I'm learning. And I'm learning a lot in a very, very short amount of time. And I know that this is being done for some reason. And I'm grateful because, yeah, I have it, but I don't think I could have any better situation around me than the one I have. Now, to the bracelet. So, Lori Paulson, the physical therapist, sent me a whole bunch of stuff, as I was talking about earlier, and I got sidetracked. One thing she sent me was, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, this bracelet. Okay, this purple bracelet that's on the top. And it's funny that she sent this one. It doesn't say anything about cancer, but it is the amethyst, and it's supposed to be a healing stone, and it has a little metal heart on it that has a big hug, and it's purple. And my friend Lorraine, that died in 2017, who was Dana's mother, who was my buddy, her favorite color was purple. Everything was purple. So I sent a picture of the bracelet to Dana. Dana sends me back this picture, this picture, and her mother, Lorraine, is wearing the same bracelet. Okay? It's the exact same bracelet. There's no way Lori would know that. The bracelet doesn't say anything about cancer on it. There's too many coincidences. So this bracelet is not coming off. It's very special to me, and I made this picture my screensaver on my phone. So every time I have to look at my phone, I see Dana and I see Lorraine. So that's that. I mean, while the knees were healing, I must have made like 20 videos that I never put out because I felt like I didn't have anything to say. So I have something to say now. And I don't know. It's a rough road, but I'm going to get through it. That's all. Nothing's taking me down before I am good and ready. I'm not ready yet. I have too much to do. I have races to ride. I've missed this year. I think I did one stage of the Tour de Zwift, and I don't know. I just kind of lost touch, but I kept coming back because this is my sanity. But it's pushing myself to get on the bike, and once I get off the bike, I feel great. Even if it's just 5 miles, which is probably what I'm going to do tonight. And I could ride with Taylor. I can still do all those things. I have all the strength. If it wasn't for this one of the 3 cancers happening, I wouldn't even know the other 2 existed because I feel great. So anyway, that's that. I will keep everyone posted, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how sick I get or I don't. We'll see how bald I get. Anyway, thank you all for everyone who has touched base with me. Jim and Deb Nelson frequently, just Jared Lash, a lot of people just touching base with me when they see me on Zwift, and they just, hey, we haven't seen you, what's going on? So that's what's going on. Anyway, until the next video, I'll see you. Take care, everyone.